All right, good morning, you guys, or afternoon, or whenever it is you're listening to this. We need to talk about our AP chemistry test, which is coming up really quickly. So the first thing, in case you're still not sure when your test is, our test is going to be Thursday, May 14th, and it will start at 11 a.m. Okay, you don't want to be late. There's no makeup time. Okay, it's very much timed. All right, so let's go through. This is sort of a long lecture, I guess. It's a pared down version of a PowerPoint that was sent to me from College Board. So the first thing we need to talk about is your e-ticket. Your e-ticket is going to be what you're going to use to take the test. A ticket, basically. So how are you going to get that ticket and where does it come from? All right, so you're going to get your e-ticket via email, and that email will be the email you used to sign up for AP Classroom. It is likely not your school email, it's a personal email, so make sure you can check that. And it should be emailed 2 days before the exam. So I'm going to assume that that would mean it will show up on Tuesday, May, let's see, what would that be, 12th. And you're going to get a different ticket for every exam you're taking, and they'll each come 2 days before that specific exam. If you do not get your ticket through email, you can also find it on Tuesday on right here. Go to myap.collegeboard.org, sign in, and this is where I believe your AP Classroom is. I don't have that account, and you should find your e-ticket there. If you don't get your e-ticket or can't find your e-ticket, I need you to contact me on Tuesday, and I will remind you of that on Tuesday the 12th. Now, important, do not share your e-ticket with anyone, or you could lose your chance to take the test. So if somebody else logs in with your number, you will lose your opportunity to take the test, or your test scores may be invalidated. And also, make sure you keep your e-ticket. So keep that number somewhere safe in case something happens during the test and you need to request a makeup exam. You will need your original e-ticket number. And we'll talk more about how you request a makeup exam or why you would need to take one a little bit later. All right, let's move on. So here we have the entire schedule of the AP exams in case you need to know it, because I don't know what exams you're taking. But our exam is right here. It's on Thursday, May 14th. And we are Pacific time, so it starts at 11 a.m. So one more time for the chemistry test. It's Thursday, May 14th at 11 a.m. Okay, and some of you are really bad at being on time. The test is 45 minutes. You need to be on time. It's really, really important. All right, so we'll talk about this real quick. I don't really want you to take advantage of that, and I'll tell you why in a minute, but just in case. If for some reason you cannot take the test on Thursday the 14th, if you have a very valid reason for not taking the test, just don't use your ticket. Don't log on. And what will happen is College Board will send you an e-ticket for the makeup date, which is in June. I really suggest, unless you have absolutely no way to take the test, on May 14th that you take the test. Because if anything goes wrong, any technical difficulties, anything like that during the test, and you take it in the makeup date, that's it. You don't get another shot. So please, unless you have absolutely no way to take the test on May 14th, take the test on May 14th. That being said, if something happens, there's a makeup test, and of course I didn't look at this before I got here. Where are we? Anybody see it? Not that it matters because you can't tell me. Anyway, chemistry is right here. So it will be on June 2nd at 1 p.m. So again, if you don't have a conflict in May, and don't use your e-ticket, if you have a conflict in May and don't use your e-ticket, you will automatically be sent a new ticket for the June 2nd date. But here's the big thing. There are no more exams, or there are way more conflicts in June. So if you're taking physics at the same time or something else, it could be a problem. But even more importantly, if something goes wrong while you're taking the test and you take the June test, that's it. You're done. So please don't think, oh, I'm going to study more and take the June exam. That's honestly not the best way, because although I don't know, this is the first time they've done this online, and I would suspect there's likely going to be some problems. So you are much safer to take the test next Thursday. Okay, so what to expect from this year's exam? I'm not going to read all of this to you. You can read it to yourself if you want, but the important part is this last paragraph here. Don't worry if you don't complete all parts of the question before you need to attach and submit your response. To give students as many different chances to demonstrate what they know as possible, a question may have more parts than can be answered in the allowed time. You don't need to complete the entire question to get a score of a 5. Okay, so that is really important. The test is going to be too long to finish. Okay, I've not seen the test, but from what I understand, nobody is going to be able to finish the test. You're not going to finish. But even though you're not going to finish, right here, you don't need to complete the entire question to get a score of a 5. Okay? It's meant for you not to finish. So you can still get the highest score possible without finishing. So what you want to do is do your best. That's it. Just do your best. And when time is up, turn in your test. Okay, so there are several ways. Okay, the exam's going to be at home. Hopefully you figured that one out. And it's going to be on your computer or your phone or your iPad or whatever you have. And there are 3 different ways you can turn in your test. One is you can type it on like Word, Google Docs, whatever. And then once you're done typing it, you can copy your answer and paste it onto the test and turn it in. The second option, so this is option number 1. Option number 2 is you can attach a typed response. So again, you can type it in Word or Google Docs or whatever you want to use. And then you go back to the College Board website. You take that back. You type right here, you type in Word, Google Docs, whatever. You save the file, and then you attach the file to the College Board. The third way is attach 1 or more photos of a handwritten response. This is the third way. So With this way, you would be using your phone. You would handwrite your assignment, your answers on a piece of white paper and take a picture of it, upload the picture, attach the picture. I honestly, while all three of these are available to you, I honestly suggest you use the handwritten response. The reason for that is when I've been looking over your guys' FRQs, what I have noticed is the people that type have a tendency to just type the answer. And in the past, College Board has given partial credit for like your work for some of the questions. Like if you set it up right but got the wrong answer or set it up partially right, you can get credit for that. So I think showing your work is really important. I have also found that for some of you figuring out, even people who show your work while typing, I'm having trouble figuring out what you did. So while all three of these are available to you and you absolutely can pick which you want to use, I suggest option 3. Okay, so let me go through how you would do each one of these, and then you can decide. And you can also practice each way, and I'll explain that later. So option 1 is to copy and paste a typed response and then click submit. So you're going to type your response in Google Docs, Microsoft Word, Notes, or some sort of word processing program. Do not include images, no pictures or anything like that. Save your work often. So, computers crash. What you're going to need to do is at the top of each page, you need to type your AP ID and your initials. When the timer has 5 minutes remaining, and I'll talk about that a little bit later, you're going to copy your document from your word processing program, and then paste it to your response into the space provided on the question, and you hit submit. So if you're going to do that, you're going to set up your computer with 2 windows open side by side. Okay, the browsers that are available for you to use are Chrome, Firefox, Safari, or Edge. Do not use Internet Explorer; it will not work. So you're going to open your first window, and that's going to be where you're going to have your College Board question. And then you're going to open a second window next to it, which will have your Google Doc, whatever. Okay? So you can see your question. You can also see a timer. We'll talk about that timer again later. And when the timer gets to 5 minutes left, you stop typing. You copy what you've got, you paste it into the AP classroom test window, hit submit, you're done. Option number 2, same idea. You're going to have windows side by side. The first window will be from College Board. You'll have in your internet browser. Remember, again, not Microsoft Word, not Internet Explorer. Your second window will have your word processing program. You type out the question, you save, you close, you then go back to your go back to your internet browser, whichever one you're using, upload your document, hit submit, and again you do that when there are only 5 minutes remaining. Okay. And the first option 1 or option 2, you'll be using a computer. Option 3, again, this is the one I highly recommend, is attached photos of handwritten response and then click submit. So I'll go a little slower through this one because this is the one I prefer for you guys to use. So the first thing you want to do is, even before the test, get out about 5 pieces of paper, 10. I'll tell you why 10. Write your AP ID and initials and page number at the top of each page of your response. You're going to write response clearly with a dark pen or pencil. When the timer has 5 minutes remaining, take a photo of each page in vertical orientation, and that just means, if you're not sure, up and down. So you want to take the picture that way, not with the page this way. No, this way. And really important, some of you are bad about this, only 1 page per photo. Okay, and make sure your page takes up the whole photo. You guys have been practicing this. And you can attach up to 5 photos per test, 5 pages. And the truth is, you from the lecture, the webinar I went to, you're not going to need 5 full pages, but better safe than sorry. Then make sure you attach all your pages before you click submit. Once you hit submit, it's over. And you can use any of those file formats, which are your basic picture formats. You cannot use PDF. So a couple of you guys have been using a program. I forgot what you're using, but that won't work. You need to just take a picture with your camera. So on exam day setup, what you're going to do is you're going to use your smartphone or your tablet. You're going to log on to mycollegeboard.com, myap, whatever. You're going to use your e-ticket. You're going to log in, and your questions will show up on your phone. It will show the question. It will show a timer. You're going to work on a piece of paper. When you're done, you're going to take a picture using your same phone, and just like we've been doing in Google Classroom, you're going to attach that picture to College Board when the time is right, in the last 5 minutes. So you can't have both your computer and your phone. You got to use one or the other. All right, requesting a makeup exam. If you have any issues on exam day that prevent you from testing successfully, you'll be directed to an online AP makeup testing request form where you can describe what happened and request an e-ticket for a June makeup exam. So what kind of things, I'm going to go down to the bottom here, what kind of things would cause you to need to have to do a makeup exam? Well, maybe you're in the middle of the test and you get sick. Maybe your brothers and sisters, cousins, other people in your family keep coming into your room while you're working. Maybe your phone battery dies. There's power outages. Your Wi-Fi goes down. Your internet goes down. Any of that kind of stuff, you can request a makeup. Now, if it's just that you didn't finish, that's not a valid reason, and we already talked about it. You're not going to finish. Okay? It's not going to happen. So if you're having issues, you can contact College Board online, not by phone, and request a makeup. And you can also talk to me about why, and I can help you through it, okay? Okay, real quickly, I know you're thinking to yourself, at least I would be if I were you, well, what you've told me so far, I don't get it. I don't know exactly how the exam's going to look. Here's the truth. I don't either. But what College Board says is that on the day of the exam, once you've logged in, this screen is going to give you a step-by-step guide on what exactly to do. So once you've clicked put in your number for your e-ticket, you should be able to navigate the test. It'll tell you, okay, now do this. Okay, now do that. So don't stress too much. I know it'd be hard not to, the total unknown. And it's weird, I can only tell you so much, which is basically what's on here. But we're going to get through this. So in theory, I've given you all the information that you need to know. That's what College Board says. It says remaining slides just provide further details and tips. So let's go through a few of those further details and tips. So 5 steps to take before exam day. Step number 1, review your content information. So check that you're getting your emails. So get on collegeboard.com, go to, I think it's up at the top right, at least on my screen it is, your name, check what email you have set up, and make sure that everything's set up correctly. Number 2, check your tech. Choose and prepare the device and documents you will use. And the way you're going to do that is here. Practice submitting your responses. You're going to go, and I'm going to put a link up when I post this, is use the online AP exam demo at cb.collegeboard/AP demo. Don't worry about the AP World Language thing. We're going to practice. You can practice submitting responses, and you can do it multiple times to kind of figure out which way you like best. Again, unless you have real issues with the phone or don't have a smartphone, I would really suggest using the smartphone. I think you'll more likely to get more credit if you write down your answers and take a picture. Okay, so you're going to gather what you need for each exam, and I'm going to give you a list of what you need for each exam, or not for each exam, for chemistry exam. I don't know what you need for your other exams, but make sure you have it ready like the night before, and make sure you receive your exam confirmation e-ticket emails. So remember, that should be happening on Tuesday. And if you don't get an email, you can log on to My AP and you should be able to find your e-ticket there. All right, so review your contact information. Like I was just saying before, sign in to myap.collegeboard.org. Confirm your email address. So click your profile at the top right-hand corner. See, I was right. That's where it is. Go to account settings and check to see if your email address is correct. If it's not correct, or if it is correct and you're still not receiving emails, it might be going into your junk mail. So create a new contact with this email address. And lastly, again, don't worry if you're still not getting emails. Your e-ticket will also be posted on your My AP account next Tuesday, a week from, well, I don't know when you're going to listen to this, a week from today, which is when I'm recording it. Okay, so step 2, check your tech. Choose your device. You won't need your lockdown you won't need your lockdown browser. If you have the Grammarly plugin on your computer, you will need to remove it before the test. Not because they don't want you to use it, but because it actually will make the test not work. But you don't need to worry to check if you have it or not. When you do the practice, it won't work unless you remove Grammarly. So it's a good way to do that. Okay, when choosing between handwriting or typing, keep in mind, this year's questions won't require you to submit graphs or diagrams, but you may be more comfortable with handwriting responses in calculus, and then look here, chemistry and statistics. If you still want to type your responses, there's a guide to how to type symbols and formulas, and this can be downloaded at right there. So there is a way to type out equations. Think about that, though. Do you really want to do that when you have a time test? I would suggest not. I and College Board both recommend that you handwrite your answers, unless your handwriting is so bad that nobody can read it. Okay. Prepare your documents for typing. If you're going to be typing, we already talked about that. Use that. You can go back and recheck that later if you're going to be typing. I don't want to spend time on that because I don't really want you to type. If you're handwriting, what you need to do before the test, so like Wednesday night, is you need to get 10 sheets of white paper. 10 sheets, lined, unlined, graph paper, it doesn't matter. The reason for 10 sheets is you want 5 sheets per question. There's going to be 2 questions. Again, you probably won't need 5 sheets, but you can use up to 5 sheets, so it's better to have them all out and ready for you. Before test day, so I'm jumping down to the bottom here. Before test day, prepare each page by writing your AP ID, your initials, and page number at the top of each page as follows. So you're going to write your AP ID, your initials, and then page 1, question 1, page 2, question 2, all the way up. No, Miss Moore, take that back. Page 2, question 1, page 3, question 1, all the way to page 5, question 1. Do it again 5 more times. AP ID, initials, page 1, question 2, page 2, question 2, all the way to page 5, question 2. And again, you want to do that no later than Wednesday night. Don't wait until the morning. All right. So first of all, ignore that part. So now for the practice test, or not a practice test, for the testing your tech, you're going to go to cb.org/APdemo. It'll allow you to practice all the different ways to submit your responses. So you can keep trying it. So try it on your computer, try typing, all that kind of stuff if you want. Try everything and then get your phone and try doing it there. See what works best for you. If you cannot get to the demo, that means your device is not working. So you need to contact me, and I will contact our AP coordinator, and we will hopefully figure out what's going on with your tech. So do that ASAP. All right, so what students need on exam day? So you need your e-ticket, where you're going to either get it off from email or College Board. You need a completed exam day checklist, including your AP ID, which I'm going to give you. You're going to need your device, whichever device you've decided to use, your laptop, tablet, smartphone, etc. You're going to need internet browser. Again, Chrome, Firefox, Safari, or Edge. Do not use Internet Explorer. You're going to need internet or cell phone connection, whichever. If you're going to be typing, you're going to need some sort of word processing application. And things you're permitted to use. You can use your class notes or study guides, textbooks, or other classroom resources and previous assignments or assessments. This, to me, is a really mean thing to say. It sounds like, yay, it's open note. But you have a very short time to answer a very, very long question. You are not going to have time to look things up. Do not expect, it's okay to have your notes out if you want. I don't have a problem with that. But you're really not going to have time to look stuff up. you would do better to, instead of like, oh, I don't know the answer to this, but I remember seeing it and looking it up and trying to find it and then going on to the next one, you're only going to have 25 minutes to do this. You would be much better served to, I think you would get more points going through the questions and answering whatever you can. If time runs out, sure, go back and look stuff up, but I would not just open your book and start looking stuff up. Answer every question as the best you can without looking anything up. It's going to be hard because you're going to want to just look stuff up, but you're just not going to have time. You're not going to finish if you do that. All right, so anyway, some other things you're going to need available to you. We're looking in the chemistry section here. You're going to need your periodic table, and you're going to need your equations, your equation sheet. Hopefully you have them. If you don't, let me know. I'll go ahead and post it again in our Google Classroom so you can get it down. And you're going to want your calculator. And if you're typing responses, you're going to need the keyboard tip sheet for how to calculate or how to type equations. All right. So College Board gives you some advice about using these optional resources. You can use class resources and notes on this year's exam. So they give you lists of things you can use. But here's the thing. The more time you spend searching the web or your book, I'm looking down here at the bottom here, the more time you spend looking things up, the less time you spend answering the questions. And most of the questions are written in such a way that they're not just facts. Looking them up isn't really going to help. It's really about what you know. Also, if you look things up online and you directly copy from websites, social media, that's considered plagiarism, and your scores will be canceled. So again, guys, I totally understand. If I was allowed to look stuff up, it would be hard not to. But you have such a short time, you are likely going to get more points for writing what you know than for spending the time looking up the stuff you don't know. I hope that makes sense. Which is also why I asked you to start practicing the FRQs I gave you, and do it that way. I think you'll do better. All right, so again, on May 4th, you should have already received exam confirmation email with your AP ID and a list of exams you have registered for. If you did not receive or cannot find that email, you can also go to My AP and find that same information. 2 days before the exam, which again is next Tuesday, the 12th, you should get an email which will have your ticket, your e-ticket for the chemistry exam. If you can't find it, if you don't get the email or you can't find it, it is also online at My AP. On exam day, complete the exam day ticket, which you can download at cb.org/AP checklist. I will also attach it when I post this. The most important thing to do is to fill in your 8-character AP ID code, which is located on your ticket, and do that before the exam. And by the way, we're going to get to this in a minute, but you should be checking into your exam 30 minutes before it starts. So you should be logging on at 10:30 a.m. on Thursday, May 14th. Okay, exam day. What are you going to be doing? So what's the test going to look like? So first of all, step 1, 30 minutes before you start, which is at what time again? 10:30 a.m. on Thursday, May 14th, you need to check in or log in. You should have your e-ticket for your exam. You can complete the pre-questions. And then you just sit there and wait for the exam to begin. You don't need to refresh your browser. You just sit there. When it's time, it'll start. Okay, there's going to be 2 questions. And remember that there's going to be 2 questions. They're going to be too long to answer. You're just going to do the best you can. All right, so for the first question, you're going to have 30 minutes total. 25 minutes to answer the question. You're going to read the question and answer as much as you can in 25 minutes. There's going to be a timer. And when you do the demo, you'll see the timer. I just played with the demo and the timer is right there. When it gets down to you have 5 minutes left, you're going to get 30 minutes total. Okay, so 30 total. 25 for the question, 5 for submitting. When it says you have 5 minutes left, you need to stop. Obviously, no one will know if you stop or not, but here's the problem. If you try to hurry up and finish your question, but then do not have time to submit your response, you don't get any points. Okay, so what you need to do when you get to that, when it says 5 minutes, it'll be like this red flashing. And when you do the demo, you're going to see all of this. You're going to be taking your pictures and uploading. And you need to hit submit before the 5 minutes are up. If it doesn't finish submitting, it doesn't matter as long as you've hit submit. And don't hit submit until you've uploaded all your pictures. Okay, once you're done with that, you just sit there. Don't touch anything, just sit there. And question 2 will pop up. For question 2, you're going to have a total of 20 minutes. 15 minutes for the question, which again is going to be too long. You're not going to finish. After 15 minutes, then your timer will turn red saying upload now, or if you have 5 minutes left. At that point, you stop your test, take your pictures, upload, submit. Okay? Again, don't try to work till the very last 1 minute. Take your 25 minutes for the first question, 5 minutes to take your pictures and upload. 15 minutes for the second question, take your 5 minutes to upload. If you try to work through that last 5 minutes, you might, in theory, get another point, but you're taking the gamble that you'll get no points because you won't be able to submit. And that would be awful. Okay, get your test environment ready. If you have a room you can go to by yourself, that's best. Turn off the ringer on your phone. Tell your family, leave me alone, I'm taking a test. Make sure your device is plugged in. Make sure it's fully charged. If you live in a household like mine, where I have limited bandwidth, my Wi-Fi goes up and down, maybe ask your family if for that 45 minutes or 50 minutes that you'll be testing, if they could hold off on playing games online, watching movies online, stuff like that, just for that certain amount of time. And before the test starts, double check. Do you have everything you need? Do you have your calculator? Do you have your paper? Do you have your pencil or your pen? Do you have your reference tables? Do you have everything set out, ready to go? And then exam security. I went to 2 meetings from College Board, and they say they have ways to tell if you're cheating. I don't really know what they are, but I will tell you it's better to be safe than sorry. If you are caught cheating, if they accuse you of cheating, not only will exam scores be canceled, but they could flag your name to universities saying that you are a person that cheats. So just don't. Okay? All right, so here we go. Again, 30 minutes before the exam, 30 minutes before your exam, you should start checking in because it asks you these questions and you just want to make sure you're ready. You're going to need to spend a few minutes passing through various security filters to confirm your identity. And then down at the bottom, and you'll see it right here, there'll be a countdown timer of how long you have until the exam starts. Once the exam starts, the first question will just appear. You don't need to refresh. And when you do the little practice thing, you're going to see all of this. It'll look just like what I'm showing you here. Okay? Answering questions. For most exams, the questions are divided into parts, labeled in alphabetical order, just like the FRQs we've been practicing. Use those letters to organize your response to make sure you are not accidentally skipping any part. If you do skip around, make sure you label things. Like, so say you do letter E before you do letter A. Make sure it's obvious what you're working on. Exams with more than one questions, you won't be able to move to the second question until time is called. Okay, nobody's going to be calling it, but until for the first question, remember it's 30 minutes, 25 to answer the questions, 5 to submit, then just sit there and wait. There'll be a timer for when the next one's going to start. Managing your time. During the exam, you'll see a timer at the bottom of the screen showing how much time remains to create and submit your response. Keep that timer visible. Don't close it out. And so it's going to look something like that. So you'll see that, leave it at that. 5 minutes before time is up, the timer turns red. You'll see a pop-up reminding you to submit your response. When the timer turns red, when there's 5 minutes left, stop your work. Work on submitting, even if you don't finish a response. It's better to submit what you've got than to spend a little extra time writing a response and end up not being able to submit anything. Any points are better than a 0. Losing track of time and not submitting a response before time runs out is not an acceptable reason for makeup testing. So keep to your time. It's better to submit what you've got than to try to finish, because nobody's going to finish. You can get a 5 even if you don't finish the test. All right, submitting your response. Submitting your response is a 2-step process. You're going to either be attaching your pictures, or if you're going to be typing a document, or copying and pasting, and then you're going to submit. Really important. If you don't click submit before the timer runs out, your response you won't get a response. It doesn't matter if you've only uploaded, if you've started to upload but you uploaded one attachment, but you need to upload a few more. You have to hit submit before the timer hits 0. Once you click submit, your response may continue to transfer depending on your bandwidth. That's fine. It doesn't need to finish transferring to College Board. You just need to hit submit. Okay? If your response continues to transfer after the exam ends, wait for an on-screen message confirming that your exam is complete before you turn off your computer. If you never see that your exam is complete message, you should go to the collegeboard.org, request makeup to explain the situation, and request an e-ticket for the June makeup date. What can go wrong during testing? We talked about this earlier. If you accidentally close a browser, if your device crashes, you lose internet access, any of that kind of stuff, you could actually try to log on again and try to finish. If you feel like that impacted your exam, request a makeup date at College Board. Okay? Exam scores. So when are your exam scores going to be posted? This is if you want to send, this is particularly important for seniors, if you want to send your AP scores to a certain college, the information is here. And I don't know why that's there. Somehow something got messed up there. All right, folks. I guess that's it. A lot of information. I would look through this. I'm going to, besides this this lecture style thing of me reading over it with you with extra talking, I'm also going to put up the actual PowerPoint so you can look through it and see, anything that you missed. Oh, good luck, you guys. This is a big deal.